Losing myself and finding my strength, came to the conclusion that I want it all. Feeling that pressure of trying to do better. I want to reach heights, but too scared to fall. Too scared of failure, way more scared of feeling regret from not even trying. That's terrifying. I understand that chasing my goals, I bury my clocks because it take time. I gotta go, I already know. If I want to grow, you reap what you sow. That be the case. Planting my seeds and water my vase. Yeah, I made mistakes. Yeah, I know you grow in your garden, but watch for the snakes. The people that act like you crazy for trying to stay far away. They don't think it's possible. I think it's possible. That is just hate. Yeah, they hate themselves because they on the shelf while you create a life that you love. A life that you love. Yeah. Loving the fact you're improving yourself. Decided that you would not settle. Decided that you got the drive to do it. The road got bumping your foot on the pedal. You go up a level. You turn up whenever it's time for you to go put in that work. I know my worth. I know it ain't gonna be easy. Yeah, I know it hurt. One thing is for sure. Yeah. Until they put me in this earth. Before I ride in that hearse. I'm chasing my goals. I'm chasing my goals. Yeah. Loving the fact you're improving yourself. Decided that you would not settle. Decided that you got the drive to do it. The road got bumping your foot on the pedal. I'm chasing my goals. All right, hey, welcome back to another episode. Thank y'all so much for being here. If you are watching me on YouTube, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. If you are listening to me on a podcast platform, please leave me a review. Also, become a supporter of the show, a monthly supporter. You can pick the amount. It can either be $3, $5, $8, or $10. You can cancel at any time. It's greatly appreciated. But I did say thank you for watching me on YouTube. We are back up and live. We're not live, but we back up and running on YouTube. So if you're listening on a podcast platform and you want to go over to YouTube and watch along with me, go ahead and do that now. But let's go ahead and dive into this thing, man. Today, let's talk about the cause of our mental suffering. Most of the time, we can point the finger at it and know exactly what it is. And even though we know this, it's a good exercise to think about it on a conscious level, to really deliberately get a grasp of it. That from the moment we wake up to the time we go to sleep, our brains are constantly chattering, buzzing all day long. And the big part of that is our brain doing this mental chatter. Chatter in the form of stories that we tell ourselves, talking to ourselves and creating these stories about ourselves, about who we are, how other folks see us or perceive us. If it's good or bad, right? Is the world good or bad? Your boss, your coworker, what they think of you, what you think of them. And it's going on all day in your head, whether you take a moment to be aware of it or not. Even if you're conscious of it, you better believe these little thoughts shape the way you feel, the way you move in life. Thoughts create feelings in your body. Like, for example, if you have a thought that something you said might have offended somebody, well, your brain is going to send signals to your body and might feel anxious. Your heart rate might change. Your breathing is going to change. Then stress and anxiety hormones will kick in and send back those signals to your brain, and now you created a cycle. Thoughts create feelings. And let's be aware of this and take inventory from time to time because feelings dictate the actions we take. Because let's be honest, when you don't feel good, it's hard to take action. It's hard to create the life you want when you feel anxious, when you feel stressed, when you feel sad, mad. And eventually, that if that goes on long enough, it's going to dictate what our reality ends up being. Being aware of what's going on in your brain is important. It really is. Our brain makes us see the world in the way we do, and the way we think about, and the way we think we are perceived, the way we perceive ourselves, right? Where we fit in this thing we call life. All of that is perceived through these stories that go on in our heads every day. It's how our brains make sense of things. And these stories come from a bunch of different places, from past experiences, from the people we hang around, from what we see on social media, from the way we are raised, past relationships, the music we listen to, TV shows we watch. A lot of times, all these things create what's called cognitive distortion. And cognitive distortion is defined as, let me read this, an irrational or exaggerated thought that can lead to an inaccurate perception of reality. And we're going to dive into that a little deeper in a moment. But let me give you a quick example of that. So every year for the past 4 years now, I perform my music for the city of St. Cloud as part of their Juneteenth celebration. And after the third one, they offered me to not only perform again, but to be the headliner, the main act. And when I tell you my anxiety, my anxiety, my anxiety, and you're probably wondering like, what you talking about? Why anxiety? You performed it before. You literally did it 3 times already. And yes, if you just look at it from a black and white perspective, a black and white angle, on a rational angle, right, and just state the facts, literally all I'm doing is performing songs I wrote, music that everybody tells me is good, in front of people who for the past 3 years in a row have told me is good. So what the hell am I tripping about? It's the story I was telling myself that I'm not ready to be a headliner. What if I don't know how to, if I don't know what to say between songs? How will I ever be able to keep everybody's attention for that long? I might be boring. I don't have any new music that to put out, blah, 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 right? Another good example is public speaking. A lot of folks are terrified about public speaking. And again, what happens is we play out in our head this story of what could happen, how we could fall flat on our face, how we could look awkward, how the audience could hate everything about us, and that thought can and will affect how you feel and act during that public speaking, or in my case, my performance, which is just going to reinforce your anxiety and keep you right where you are, stuck having anxiety about public speaking. Other examples, you send that text to somebody and you see those three little dots pop up and they sit there for like 5 seconds, then go away, and you're like, okay, did I offend them? Are they mad? Did I say something wrong? Should I not have said it that way? Did they take it the wrong way? Or if somebody says, we need to talk, my Lord, the we need to talk line, them 4 words have caused so much stress and so much anxiety in the world. And not just from husband and wife and partner, but from your boss, family member, the doctor. Whew. If the doctor calls you and says, yes, again, we got your test results, give us a call back to talk about them. Your heart rate gonna drop. Again, I've been there, done that. I'll never forget. I went to the clinic to get my to get an STD test, and every time I go, they ask me if you want them to call you with your results, and if you do, they won't give your results. They won't give them via voicemail for privacy reasons, right? They have to verify over the phone that it's you, the person on the phone. So basically, they say wait a week or 2 weeks, whatever it was, and if we don't call you, that's good news. If we don't call you, that means it's good news. And tell me why these folks called me, left me a voicemail saying, this message is for Darius Dutch at such and such and such clinic. Your test results came back. Give us a call. When I tell you my soul left my body, I died for 6 seconds, literally, and my brain went crazy. All these stories in my head, you can imagine. I'm like, oh my God, do I have AIDS? Do I have chlamydia? Will I be able to have kids? Ain't nobody gonna want a man with herpes. It's over. I'm gonna be single forever. And I called them just for them to say, so good news, everything came back negative. What the? You got me up here stressing. I did all that worrying for nothing, right? And we do this in several areas of our lives. Something happens, and then we just leave reality behind for a second and make up all these stories in our heads, right? And it happens so much, it happens every day. And unfortunately, we allow it to change our emotions. We do. And if those emotions end up being good ones, then good. It's way easier to take actions that we need to create the life we want. But if it don't feel good, then it's going to be harder to take that action. So let's talk about some techniques, and let's figure out how to identify what those negative thoughts are and the patterns that you have, and what are these stories that we're telling ourselves, and then to challenge the validity of them. Right, that's a very important part of it. Challenge the validity, which is step one. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit, but to see how to see how it's all lies. Right, we mislead ourselves, and then you take those negative thoughts and you replace them with thoughts that are going to serve you better. And the goal of it all is to change your emotional behavior, to be able to get you to take an action to create the life you want, and also for more happiness, to be more satisfied by this restructuring, right? Cognitive restructuring is what it's called. And like I said, this involves identifying specific negative thoughts you have and to challenge the validity of them, the accuracy. Like, for example, if you say, I'm awkward, I'm bad with words, I'm ugly. I have horrible handwriting. I'm stupid. I'm a bad driver. Well, maybe that one. A lot of y'all can't drive. But test the validity and actually asking yourself questions. And when you question yourself, don't just do it in your head. Do it out loud. Say, so let's say, for example, you say, if you made a mistake on something and you say, damn, I always mess up. I always mess up. So instead of saying, I always mess up, a better phrase would be, I messed up this time, but I'm learning from this. Or I messed up and I'm getting better at it. Identify that negative statement. Replace it with a more valid and positive one. Because think about it. If you're using words like always, never, right? I always mess up. I never get this right. I'm always saying stupid stuff. One, that ain't true. You don't always do anything. Always is 100%. Never is 0%. You can't say I always say something wrong or say the wrong thing, right? Because you're not speaking a completely different language. You're not saying some random gibberish or cussing somebody out every sentence, right? You have way more conversations where you say the right thing, right? Probably 99% of the time. But by putting this absoluteness on it, it makes your brain feel like you're messing up way more than you actually are. And this holds you back from seeing the truth. Because the irony is, always and never, they almost never happen. Always and never almost never happen. Always and never, for the most part, they rarely happen. Test the validity of those statements. Do you always break things? Do you always make the wrong decision? Do you never get it right? No, not always. No, not never. So the next thing you do is to test the beliefs that you tell yourself. To test the belief that you're telling yourself. So, for example, if you think that if you speak up about something, the conversation is going to go south and it's going to be a bad experience and you will be so uncomfortable that you're going to die inside and the person is going to hate you, test that. Say, you know what? This is what I feel like is going to happen. Let me test this. Find your courage first and do it. Speak up about that thing and just see. And what'll happen is you're going to prove that story wrong. You're going to start to poke holes in the story and have that of the story that you have in your head. And the story I used to tell myself was about my music. Before I got my studio, hell, even after, I still got it sometimes. To this day, I still have to poke holes in my story, right? But before I got my home studio equipment, my homeboy, the first time I ever recorded myself was on a laptop that I borrowed from my homeboy Jude. Shout out to Demille Jude. And I didn't have no equipment. All I had was the built-in microphone on his laptop. And the whole time I'm telling myself, man, this just don't sound professional, right? People are not gonna really listen to my music. For real, for real. They're gonna hear it the first 5 seconds and then get uninterested in it. Because let's be honest, we done all heard some BS. Somebody who think they can rap and they put their music out there and not only is the quality horrible, but they don't have no talent, right? And you end up not needing to hear much of it, right? You hear it, you hear that vocal quality of it, and it's trash, and you just turn it off. That was my irrational fear that would happen to me. But I decided to put it out anyway to test that validity. And lo and behold, it was good. Professional sounding? No. But everybody who heard it loved it. Fast forward to now, a lot of the music I put out, or at least lately, right? I'm not mixing myself. I'm sending it off to engineers and I let them mix and master for me. And they're not me. So the way they do it, it ain't how I do it, right? And I was equating different with incorrect. And so I would like send feedback to the engineer, and I'm sure he looking at me crazy, like, what is this dude talking about? I don't hear all the things that he won't change, right? It sounds just fine on my end. And even though it might not have been the way I would have did it, I still shared it with y'all anyway. And first, let me say I think it's all good. All the music that that the engineers did for me, and that they're doing is good. I really enjoy it. I really appreciate it. But like I said, I was used to the sound I produce, and so I shared it with y'all. And what happens? Several of y'all on here told me that y'all loving the music. Not one of y'all was like, yeah, the song cool, but you don't sound the same. You don't sound how you used to. It don't sound as good. No, that never happened, and it probably never will happen. I had to poke holes and test the validity in that story I was telling myself. And lo and behold, that story I was telling myself was BS. The music is fine, people love it. And then, like I mentioned before, the next thing, the most important thing, is to change around that narrative. Change that phrase. You replace that phrase. So instead of saying people won't like the music, the sound quality of my music, I should say the sound quality is different than what I normally produce, right? Than what I normally do. Instead of somebody saying, I never get the timing right, instead say, I didn't get the timing right this time, but I'm working on it. Or I'm challenging myself to get my timing down, right? Instead of somebody saying, I always mess stuff up, say, I messed up this time. Next time, I'm going to make an effort to get that thing right. Take those negative thoughts and change them, transform them into a narrative that's going to serve you better, that's going to empower you. Allow yourself to have more of those thoughts that are going to actually support you in becoming the person that you actually want to become. And to do this, you need to first become aware of it. And that's aware of it in the outside, right? As well as on the inside in the moment. In the moment when it's happening right then and there, and outside of the moment is when you're keeping track of it, right? Take inventory of these negative thoughts. Notice which ones are the most reoccurring ones. So first, awareness, become aware. Second thing is to evaluate it. Take that step back. Are these things based in facts, or am I distorting the truth? Is my brain making me feel this way? Are you going to find out that 9 times out of 10 it's not a fact? Yes, you will. The third thing is you challenge those narratives, right? You challenge them with evidence. Do I always say the wrong thing? Well, no, I don't always say the wrong thing. That's not true, right? Today I did. Today I said the wrong thing, but I don't always say the wrong thing, right? And the fourth thing is that you do is you restructure those thoughts. You rewrite them, and what you do is you focus on what you're doing well, on how you want it to be. So instead of saying I'm awkward when I'm meeting new people, what you say is I'm working on improving my social skill. So when I talk to people for the first time, I feel better about it. I'm improving my social skills. I'm getting better at this. And the last part of this is practice. You have to have some repetition with this thing. You have to get those reps in. You have to step outside your comfort zone and just do it. You do. Otherwise, it'll never go away. It'll never change. It just won't. And the reason you do this is you have to change the narrative by showing yourself that what you thought was going to happen didn't happen. And if it didn't happen, then it's false. It's false. Get rid of that. And this is something we have to be very intentional with. The stories that you tell yourself are shaping your life. It affects how you feel, how you interact with people, right? The actions that you take and don't take, how you see yourself, the way you think forms that. And once you start to change those thought patterns, you'll be way more successful at changing your life. But it starts from within, with your mindset. And like I always say, this is a journey. It's not going to happen right away. And I hope you never leave one of my episodes with that belief that something's going to happen right away. No, this is something you have to practice, something you have to do over and over again. But keep on keeping on. I'm right here on this journey with you. So that's what I got for you today. Thank y'all again for being here. If you are watching on YouTube, please go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. Please share this episode with a friend or a family member, or share it on social media and make sure you tag me in it. And become a supporter of the show. You can choose the amount. It can be $3, $5, $8, or $10. Let's go ahead and get to this music. Now, this is an old, unreleased song, and it's old. I did this probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, but I only released it on Facebook. This was a time when I used to curse a lot more than I do. And first, it ain't that bad. You'll see what I mean, though. But let me know. Should I put this on streaming platforms like on iTunes and Spotify and all that? Let me know. Leave me a comment if you're on YouTube. You can email me or text me. But let me know what you think. Should I share it, or do it sound too outdated? Right? I do a little singing in this thing too. It's kind of cringe-worthy to me right now, but it is what it is. But hey, that's growth, right? The fact that it feels cringe-worthy to me right now, that means it's growth. Anyway, the name of the song is Let It Breathe. Let's ride out. I know shit changed, that's what it is, my nigga. Doing your own thing, get it in, my nigga. But we ain't the same, I'ma keep it real, my nigga. At the end of the day, you still my nigga. I done lost a lot, nigga, I just wanna win. I done lost friends, I done lost kin, I done lost ends. Wanna talk about a nigga life, shit, where do I begin? And I feeling like it's coming to an end. If I drink right now, I might binge. Fuck it, I'm going in, let the gavel drop. Got a life sentence, told my life on the stand. Please don't judge me, I'm guilty as charged, my nigga. I'm guilty as charged, I've been through it all. Back against the wall, I'm gripping my balls, my chin to the stars. If I was so happen to trip, slip up and I fall, then who can I call, my nigga? Family first, then all my niggas, yeah. And I pray I don't stumble. Lately I've been troubled, I'm hearing they mumbles. I got the torch and I don't wanna fumble. I am a beast, I belong in the jungle. I got the heart of a tiger and lion, but I look around me and I see these dumbos. Let's get it, I come from the gumbo. I come through the front door, it's about to get cut though. I gotta let it breathe. Yeah. I gotta let it breathe. I gotta let it breathe. You better talk to me carefully. I don't need you to check for me, only if you gotta check for me. And this shit getting under my skin, feeling like I got leprosy. Going hard is my specialty, better let it be. I gotta let it breathe. I talk to myself, lately been talking to God a lot. Lately been working like I'm a stud. They came with that bullshit, I caught them out. I can't hear that bullshit you talking about. You play me like Tetris, I block you out. Maybe you should take a different route. This way got construction, bitch, turn around. If they give me lit, then I burn it down. If I touch it, it go up in flames. She let me touch, now she saying my name. I made her wet soon as I touch the stage. I gotta rep this shit, nigga, take 3. Yes, take 3 till I lay in the grave. Me, Sap, and Moses, they saying that name. Be reppin' so hard, they gon' think we a gang, nigga, who you know? Tell me who you know in here working harder. Lately been trying to get close to my father. Lately I cry when I think about my mama. No, it ain't kill me, guess it made me stronger. I guess that death added fuel to my hunger. Been through the rain and I'm bringing the thunder. Fuck your umbrella, better take cover. Better watch your mouth when you're talking about my hustle. Better watch your mouth when you're talking about my grind. You know that I grind, I'm supposed to grind. Hoping I shine like opening blinds. I'm going and going, it's always go time. I stay on the road like I don't go inside. I do it to death, but I hope it's alive. I know it's alive, I know that's a sign. I gotta let it breathe. Fuck. Breathe in, no time for sleeping. I don't have a snooze button, can't sleep in. It's rare if you see me on the weekend. Downstairs in the basement, that's where he been. Doing work by myself, play the cards I was dealt, play the cards right, don't renege. I really hate this season. All these clouds in the sky and this rain in my life, I've been fighting my demons. Don't give me a reason to dive in the deep end, way up top from the steep end. Everybody watching each other and competing, while I've been plotting and scheming. Every morning my knees bend. Gotta thank the Lord for what he did. Cause I just looked around at what we did. It's a thing of beauty the way we beasted. It's a thing of beauty, but nigga, we still ain't sleeping. Well, she is, cause she need it. Putting too much on my plate always been my weakness. Working so hard, I forget to celebrate my achievements. I just hold it all in and realize I ain't even breathing. I gotta let it breathe. I gotta let it breathe. You better talk to me carefully. I don't need you to check for me, only if you gotta check for me. And this shit getting under my skin, feeling like I got leprosy. Going hard is my specialty, better let it be. I gotta let it breathe.